Hi, it's Kelly Slusher. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about animal face, car face, side of ranch, the obsession with ranch dressing, and do you pronounce it croissant or croissant? Join me today and find out. You're listening to The Kelly Slusher Show with your host, Kelly Slusher. What you're going to hear may be very shocking to you. It may be something that you're not even aware of, but sometimes the truth needs to be said. It may be something that leaves you feeling uncomfortable and maybe doubting your own motives. It's something so significant, yet insignificant at the same time. It's a paradox. It's a world unexplored. It's interdimensional. And it exists in every single pizza place on the planet. The waiter will place the pizza upon the tabletop, and I guarantee the next 7 words will be uttered out of the customer's mouth. Can I get a side of ranch? Can I get a side of ranch? Oh, when you have a second, can you give me a side of ranch? Can I get a side of ranch? Can I get a side of ranch? Can I get a side of ranch? Hey, can I get a side of ranch? Can I get a side of ranch? Can you grab me a side of ranch? Oh, can you bring me some side of ranch? Oh, can you we all want a side of ranch. Oh, when you get a second, can you get a side of ranch? Can I 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 get a side side ranch. I need a side ranch. Please give me ranch. Okay, hi everybody, it's Kelly Slusher. Thanks for coming back to my Wacky Doo show. That song is called A Side of Ranch. It's a song, it's a sketch. It's a skit thing that I do. And okay, so that came from because I was a waitress for a very short time at a place that served pizza. And this was many years ago. But I'm sure it's still the same. Anyway, and so anyone that would order pizza, I knew this was going to happen. You hand the pizza. Can you get a side of ranch? You hand that. You can get a side of ranch. Can you get a side of... Everyone wanted a side of ranch. And if you decided you're going to portion out little ranches because you knew they were going to ask you and you'd have to come back to their table. And you knew, and I knew if I portioned it out ahead of time so I wouldn't have to walk back to the table and have it with me. And if you were like, did you want ranch with that? And they'd be like, no. So that plan never worked. Every once in a while. But I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, why do you need ranch? I guess if you're going to eat something. But I did it the other day. I did. I really did. I asked for a side of ranch. It's because I was eating something that just sounded good with ranch. So I do it too. But it's kind of funny how much that is such a thing. I wonder if there's any pizza places that find that to be offensive. Like, oh, you don't like my pie just the way it is. You need a side of ranch. I wonder in New York, like if you ever gone to New York and you go and you actually get a New York slice, you know, like on the corner, you walk in, not always on the corner, but you know, you walk in and there's a slice and you get your slice. I wonder if they would be like, if you're like, can I get a side of ranch? Like what they would do. Because that might not be an East Coast thing. That might be such a California thing to do. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about it. Anyway, the idea came to me. I thought it was funny. So I think this is funny. And I think kind of weird. So, so there's like First Baptist Church. There's also a Second Baptist Church. And wouldn't you feel kind of weird if you're like, you go to Second Baptist? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, what's your church? Second Baptist? Well, why don't you go to the First Baptist? Well, this is the second one. It's second is to good because you think, that's what I think. And the thing is, there's a Third Baptist church as well. I think there's a Fourth Baptist somewhere too. I looked it up because I thought it'd be so funny to be like, I go to Third Baptist. What is that? The only way I think I can figure out what that might be is it might be the First Baptist was their first church, and then the Second Baptist church is the split off from the First Baptist. And then all those people went to the Second Baptist and were like, we don't like this setup. Let's make a Third Baptist. Okay, let's do the Third Baptist. Why don't you just rename it? Anyway, I just thought that was funny. Anything second best. And then that is actually going to be, let's see, did I do that one? No, there is a sketch I'm doing around that. I haven't quite finished it, so I will share it. My mom was talking to a friend the other day, and she was telling me a story about how her and somebody, they were going to go meet somewhere, but she didn't say meet. She said, yeah, and then we hooked up. Okay, so ages, I would say 60 something and up. It's when they say they're going to go meet their friends. Hookup means something completely different to them, and it's so funny. I'm sure we've all heard our parents say stuff like that, or like grandparents, like, oh, and then me and John and Jane and Mary, we all went down. We all hooked up by the pond, and I'm like, what did you do? I always crack, Mom, it's not hookup, and you don't say hookup because that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right to us. It seems like everyone's driving Teslas. They're just everywhere, at least in the area I live. And they look like snake faces. Like the front of the car looks like a snake face. So sometimes if I'm driving down the road, there's a Tesla behind me. I'm like, ooh, there's a snake chasing me. That's what it looks like to me. I kind of see that in a lot of cars. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but cars, I know they model some cars after certain animals, because there are some cars that full on look like, I think it was a Mustang. Every car kind of looks like an animal. And I think that Jeeps look like monkeys. Like the headlights, they always look like eyes, and they'll have they look like a face. So anyway. And now that I'm on the subject of cars, oh my goodness. Okay, so this drives me crazy. Why do people not use their turn signals? Some people do. I do. And there are some people do. But there are a large amount of people, at least in this area that I live in, they won't. I think that they don't understand the concept of a turn signal. There is a reason. Actually, it's actually called a turn indicator. And there was a time when they didn't have turn indicators, and there were accidents and people rear-ending each other, and then people not know which direction you're going in. And someone came up with this brilliant idea. Let's make this light that flashes and lets the other drivers know what your intentions are in this moment. If you're turning left, if you're turning right, whatever you're doing, so other drivers can know how to respond, so it prevents accidents. Whoever invented that they were brilliant, right? What a great idea. Oh. But there are people, they just won't use it. They just won't. I mean, you're like driving down the road and suddenly their brakes are on and they just turn. It's like, are these the same kind of people when they use a bathroom, they don't wash their hands? They just skip the step because it doesn't apply to them. You know those people? It doesn't apply to me. I don't use turn signal. It doesn't apply to me. It shows signs of weakness. It shows signs that I care about other people. It shows a sign that I actually don't want problems. How about not deal with something like that? That's a pain in the butt. It takes 1 second. It's so weird to me. These are the things that it's baffling, because it's not like there's a few, there's a bunch. There's been a bunch. And it just doesn't make sense. Did you not take a driver's permit? Or did you not take a driver's test? You know about the turn signal. You know what it is? They probably aren't familiar with the different gadgets in their car. Oh, I just don't get it. And if you're enjoying my podcast, please subscribe and give me a 5-star rating. Help me grow my podcast. Thank you so much. Now let's listen to another little sketch I made.
Hi, can I help you? Yes, I would like a decaf latte, and I would like a side of, do you have a little extra butter that I could have on with my latte? And then I want to get, let's see, what do you have in the pastry case? Can I get that croissant? Yes, is that for here to go? Can I get that for here / to go? Like, can you put everything in to go, but have it for me for here? And then I'm gonna throw everything away. Hi, can I help you? How you doing? Can I get do y'all guys got any just a regular coffee? I want regular coffee. Would you like any cream in that? I'd like a little bit of that half and half. Okay, anything else? Yes, can I get what you got? You got some donuts? Can I get a baker's dozen of those donuts? Can you, I want those ones with the extra sprinkles on it. And then, let's see, what else you got down here? Okay, can I get a croissant? That's gonna be all for me. Okay, that'll be $17.50. Do you want that for here to go? Oh, I'll have that for here. I mean, all that. Hi, can I help you? Yeah, I want to get let's see, can I get a decaf soy latte? We don't have soy milk. Can I get a decaf oat milk latte? Why, certainly. Anything else? Yes, can I get a croissant? Is that for here to go? Oh, can I get that for to go? Okay, thank you.
So that is actually, I had that experience. I was the barista, and this was in several places in the past where someone would order a croissant. And I know, and people do it. They always say croissant. And it's just that, it's one of those things that just bugs me. I remember at the time I was like, what? Because they'd talk normal, but then when they ordered the croissant, we call them croissants. Croissant. That is how we say it. Because we're not, but I guess if you want to be appropriate, it's croissant. Croissant. Yeah, can I get a croissant? They'd be like, yeah, can I get a cup of coffee and a croissant? I'm like, oh my gosh, did you just get back from France? Wow, did you spend a bunch of time in Paris? Oh, I'm so intimidated right now. I can't even believe that I can pick up this croissant and stick it in the little bag and hand it to you. I feel so unworthy. Okay, I'm going to be going back to the subject of turn signals. I decided I was going to look up, see if there were any surveys taken to see why, this whole phenomenon that seems to be more and more like happening more often and needs to stop. Okay, so one of the reasons I'm reading here, it says, for one, their turn signal is broken. Yes, that's happened to many people, but it's a quick light bulb change, it's usually not a huge deal. Just get it, and you can get, the thing is you can get a ticket for not turning your turn signal. I don't know, maybe cops ignore that. Okay, let's say they forget to turn off their signal, and because they'll do that, they'll forget to turn their signal off. So as a result, they decide to take care of the issue by never using their signals again. All I can say about is, wow, like these people, like if that's a simple thing, right? That's simple. Through life, there's so many different things that we have to do to make it all come together and work and be alive on this planet, and like that's such a little thing. Like, I can't remember stuff. I'm going to just throw that out the window. Forget that. I'm just not going to use them at all. Let's see, they are too lazy. I think that's probably, it's a mixture of that, but it's also a mixture of, say they want to cut you off. I do think there's that going on. And then I think it's also, they're lazy. And then they think turn signals are optional. I think they're too lazy, and turn signals, they think it's an optional thing. It's not a necessary thing. Two, they don't have enough time, meaning they don't have, let's say they make a quick turn, so they don't have enough time, but you probably shouldn't do those anyway because that's how people get rear-ended. Okay, they forget to turn off their signal. They forget to turn on their signal. Once again, it's kind of like riding a bike. Driving is second nature. If you've done it for so long, a turn signal thing, it's just a habit. It becomes a habit from the very first time you learn to drive, if you learn to drive properly. Everyone has to take the driver's test. And in that, when you study for it, you learn these things. So I don't see that. None of these are good reasons, except for if it's broken and you're going to get it fixed. Okay, so I decided to make my own list up to make this, to make it make more sense, okay? Number 1, their arms are too short. Number 2, they have no arms. Number 3, they're afraid the signal lever will snap like a brittle stick. Can't take that chance. What if they go to use the turn signal and it just breaks right off their steering column? You know what I mean? You can't take that chance. Their turn signal got crossed with their horn and it honks every time they use the turn signal. That actually happened to me years ago. So I couldn't use my turn signal. But that's a real one. Oh, they have very poor vision and can't see the turn signal levers, so they're not able to see the actual lever by their steering wheel. Oh, the clicking sound reminds them of a clock and they get very sleepy, so they don't want to fall asleep. And the last reason I've created is the sound of the turn signal may drown out the stereo. So it might invade in your music listening. So, the benefit of the doubt. It's probably because I would say it's because their arms are too short. I want some marmalade. What's marmalade? Oh, it's just a lake of marmalade. What do you think? I'm swimming in a lake of marmalade. I'm gonna call it Marmalade. I was actually laying in bed the other night, literally in the middle of the night, I just thought of Marmalade. What's Marmalade? It's a lake of marmalade. And I actually wrote it down. And I was like, Marmalade. I just thought it was valuable to keep. And sometimes that happens. So there's 2 stories here. Okay, so one is my mom sent me yesterday a text message of she was all enthusiastic. I know you're listening, Mom. Don't get offended. I love you. But it's really funny. She sends me a picture of a poodle and she goes, oh, look at this beautiful poodle in the doctor's office. And it had the dew, the poodle. I'm sure it's a nice poodle. It's probably a great dog and nice friendly dog, but it always poodles with the, where they shave it. So it's got the puffy, there's puffiness in random places. The tail's got an extra puff, it's shaved and then puff and then a little bow. And so it made me laugh. And I just sent her a laugh text back, and I don't think she probably appreciates that I was giggling at it, but poodles, or send me a picture of a poodle and say, hey, look at this beautiful poodle, I'm probably gonna laugh. So it reminded me of time in high school when me and my mother were at a thing. I don't know what it was, but I remember there were chairs. There was some kind of film we had to watch. There were other high school students there. I don't know why I was there with my mom. Probably because she maybe gave me a ride and she stayed. I don't know. Anyway, we were sitting in the second row. And I had as a punk rocker girl, I had kind of a shaved head and this mohawk-ish type of thing, but not up. But kind of hung to the side, shaved head, combat boots. I was total punk. And then my mom, she wore her hair. She's had gray hair for years, even in her 30s. And so she would wear it and she would kind of puff it up a little bit. So short and it was puffy. Anyway, they called her a poodle lady. I heard them say, they were snickering and I heard them call my mom a poodle lady. And I get up and I just rip them apart. I don't know what I say, but basically, you shut up. You don't make fun of my mother. You're sitting here all night. All you're doing is talking. It's really annoying. I mean, this is in front of the whole, I had no filter. They didn't, you know what? They were quiet the whole time after because I was going to kick their butts. And I was like that. unfortunately for the kid, I feel bad. I'm not like this now, but I just didn't have this like, okay, someone can make you mad, but that doesn't mean that you have to like go attack them or like, yell at them or, I was an adult. I was young, So there was a time when I was walking in the hall. This is when high school, and there was this kid, poor guy. He was this scrawny little kid, but he'd always pick on me. And he did it. He picked on me, and he picked on me. And I kept hanging out with him. I don't know why. He was in my group, we were like the weirdo kids, the punks that would go hang out together. And he was in that group, and he probably thought I was really cool. But he gave me a wet willy. So, you stick your finger in your mouth and it's wet, and then you stick it in someone's ear. And I think he called me a B word. And I don't know why he did this. And I had enough. And I threw him to the ground. And I just started punching him and just hitting him. And then all the crowd starts gathering around like, look, a girl's beating up a guy. And so anyway, the kid runs off crying. I say kid, high schooler. He runs off crying. And I'm sure he's damaged forever. But don't do that. Like, that to me, like the wet willy, that's the grossest thing. Don't do that, And he didn't know my power. He didn't know, don't do that. So that reminded me, poodle lady. Okay. The other thing, so I'm going to wrap it up here in a minute. So the last thing I'll talk about is there was this one time when I used to babysit these two kids, and they were about 6. And the one kid, he would still go poo-poo. He'd poop his pants. Like, he was just notoriously a pooper. And, but he would always, anyway, so he wouldn't always do it, but sometimes he just would poop his pants, So we lived in this place where there was a football field behind our house. And so during the games, like the season of the games, me and my family, my sister, my brother, and then the kids, they were neighbor kids. They'd come over and we're all sitting, and we'd sit and watch the game. And halftime came on. And then I remember someone's like, what's that smell? Meaning because this kid pooped his pants. He was like, oh, that's halftime. So he was blaming. What's that smell? That's halftime. Like, I don't think halftime smells like poop. That's a joke with my mom. Where it's like, oh, it smells like halftime. So, okay, I'll end with that. Thanks for listening, and I will let you go. Okay, bye-bye.